Alright, so in this video, I want to talk about hands and arms. So the hands are often considered the bane of artists, as the complex structure is difficult to replicate on paper, especially since there are so many small, movable parts. We can still take the time to break it down in a way the hand becomes much more bearable to draw. First, we can break down the main structure of the hand into a truncated trapezoid-shaped cube. Okay, so that's the main body that we're seeing here. We're essentially turning that into a truncated trapezoid-shaped cube. We can merge all the fingers except for the index finger. This allows us to play with the index finger as an individual digit there, but it simplifies the movable parts, alleviating the need to focus on intricate structure of each individual finger. So in this case, the way that I'm dealing with this is that I'm just subtracting in here. So I have essentially the index finger, but then I have all the merged fingers up here. And a little nice thing to know is that the hand to middle finger is roughly the same length. So, from the top of the middle finger at the bottom of the middle finger is the same length as like the top of the hand and then the bottom here. And remember, there's going to be this curve. If you analyze the hand, even on my own here, there is going to be that curve. So the little finger is going to be the smallest, and then there's going to be this peak, and then it comes back down where the index finger is going to be. And then I broke down the thumb into two parts here. So I have like the tip of the thumb and then the middle of the thumb here. And it has that triangle shape, and then you can connect that. So now we glue it all together, and now it looks like a fairly complicated, interesting looking hand shape. But not so complicated that we feel overwhelmed with all of the muscles and sinews and bones and all that stuff. So we still want to keep it simple so we can manage it. And I have different examples here, and I'm just using my own hand as reference because we all have hands. We can look at it, we can reference from it, and just analyze and take the time to see areas that you can break down and simplify. Areas that, how can I replicate this on paper and make it still look like a hand, but not be overwhelmed by it. Remember that you can also bend the shapes and the forms, just like I talked about in week 1 and 2. Well, you can do that with the fingers here. You can bend it and play with it. Okay. And this is why it's so easy to merge all of the fingers together, because you have all this negative space in here, and then you have all the intricate shapes that's coming out. I'm just merging it all together. So even when I'm spreading it out, I'm just making it wider. And don't be afraid of bending the forms here. You can see that even when you're making a fist, the hand isn't completely like straight. There's going to be this like nice curve, and then we see a bit of the top side of the knuckles here, so you kind of get this triangular looking shape right there, and that's quite beautiful. So I'm trying to replicate that as I'm like analyzing on my own hand and trying to kind of add that in to the simplified version of the hand. And then I draw these like very soft lines to kind of indicate that I understand the forms turning in space here. So the arms also have a lot of muscular detail that we don't have to worry about. The shoulder can be simplified into a ball with the upper arm attached, flat and wide. The elbow is also represented as a ball for simplicity's sake. The forearm is similar to the upper arm, but tapers towards the wrist. So you can see that the forearm here, it starts kind of wide and then it tapers in slightly here. It has this nice, beautiful shape to it. So we can think of the general structure of the upper arm and forearm as like a chain link shape, meaning that you kind of have this like the chain link here is flat, but then it's like tilt is turning in space and it's becoming vertical. So you have this like turning of links, if that makes any sense. So the upper arm here in a certain angle is going to look flat, and here it's going to look tall on the forearm. So here the forearm is going to be tall and this is going to be flat. But then if you turn the arm, the upper arm is going to be tall and then the forearm is going to look flat, right? It just kind of depends on whether the arm is turning and twisting, right? So just take those things into consideration. And again, I'm analyzing the reference here. I'm seeing this shape right here, and I'm trying to replicate that shape right here. You can see that I'm kind of going down and then going up, just as on like we're seeing this shape here kind of peaking here at the bottom, and then we kind of go up. Okay, the same thing here. I kind of see this curve, I kind of add in that slight curve in there as well. I kind of see a peak up here, and then we can kind of cut into it where it's kind of tapering, because we're not looking directly at the side of it. We're kind of seeing the slight top of it here. So we're doing the same thing here. So I'm analyzing and applying that without being worried about the small, like intricate details and bumps, the little veins, the muscles. I'm not worrying about that. I'm just thinking about the overall structure. And then I'm trying to make a more simplified geometric shaped arm based off of that.